So there are finally some new posts on the Korean Eternity section, and we're going to be taking a look at some of them. So we're going to start with this one. I think Mabinogi is a game that requires you to check a lot of things on the screen often. There are many reasons for this. The inventory is unique and the number of skills is just too numerous. However, before focusing on the UI on the screen, I focused on the most basic screen. This has been a frequent topic among relatively new players in the development lab. So I compared it to recent games and considered how I could make Mabinogi's screen more pleasant. So this is all about like field of view and how we can make the screen for Mabinogi better. So here you can see 3 different images of the field of view. So right here they're zoomed in to the back of their character. And then here they're zoomed out a little bit more and you can see a little bit more behind them and in front of them. And then here they're like zoomed way out and you have a good view of Dumbarton. The field of view refers to the field of view on the game screen. This will likely be familiar to those who enjoy taking photos. So if the angle of view is low, the range visible on the screen is narrow. The higher the angle of view, the wider the range visible on the screen. To make it easier to understand, let's look at some in-game example images. So they do have some example images here, and also some example videos, but these videos are taking a long time to load, probably because I'm a North American player and this is on the Korean website. But I have 2 of them loaded up, we'll take a look at those. So here's the first video, and you can see that they're zoomed into the front of their character. And you can see a lot of Dumbarton from here, so a few things have been moved around. You'll notice that the staircase to the town office is a little different, and there's a big staircase going directly up to the magic school now. And also the mailbox is over here instead of over here. So a few small changes to make Dumbarton feel better. But overall it still looks the same. Let's take a look at this. So here you can see them zooming out and zooming in and zooming out. Gives you kind of an example of what it's going to be like and how smooth it is. And for the next video, they're actually going to run down this street of Dumbarton. So this is what it looks like when a new player is entering Dumbarton in Unreal Engine. So yeah, all these videos here are pretty much the same. If you look at the images and videos, you will be able to feel the difference between narrow and wide angles at a glance. So yeah, these are pretty cool. Currently, the live-action version of Mabinogi features a 45-degree field of view. Considering the average monitor size when Mabinogi was first developed, this isn't a particularly unusual figure. However, the problem is that over 20 years have passed. The monitor sizes used by militias have also increased, and the amount of content on systems in-game has significantly increased, resulting in a massive increase in what you can see on the screen. So yeah, that's definitely true. I play Mabinogi with a 24.5-inch monitor because that's what works best for me, but Mabinogi sometimes has trouble on like really big monitors. You'll have to mess with the settings a lot to get it to work right. So first, this narrow field of view needed to be broadened to fit the modern game. However, it'd be problematic if the difference from the screen you're accustomed to while playing was so great that it felt out of place. So yeah, this is pretty tricky. You do have to make like little adjustments like this to make Mabinogi more modern. So yeah, there are these two videos here as well, and I would play them if they weren't loading so slowly, but you can come to the Korean Eternity section and load up these videos, or try and download them. It might take a little while, but you can see them that way. I've tried setting different minimum and maximum angles to ensure a natural change when zooming in and out with the mouse scroll. A closer look reveals that objects in the distance move slightly differently when zoomed in and zoomed out. As I adjusted the angle of view like this, I realized there were more things to consider than simply fixing it to one number. So this is actually a room in Albi Dungeon in Chernanog. There's also some posts about how they're redoing the boss room and a couple other rooms in Chernanog completely. I need both a distant view and a closer view for a clearer view of the character, and these two perspectives had to be properly differentiated. At the same time, I had to be careful not to accidentally switch perspectives. If you accidentally scroll in the middle of a hunt and get pulled into a character, you'll be in big trouble. Yeah, that would be bad. And here we can actually get a cool view of Chernanog. I actually downloaded this video, which you can do by clicking right here and selecting download. So we don't need to wait for that one to load up. Let's pull that up next. Okay, so here's the video of Chernanog, which actually looks pretty cool. So you can see the fence here, you can see the torches. I like how the fire is blue instead of orange. Like, that looks really cool. It would be awesome to have like a Halloween event here. Like, this looks really good. And here they're zooming in a bit. And here they're zooming out a lot, so you can see how some of the fence here is destroyed. And it looks like there's a wolf or maybe a warg like right out here. So this is just like off to the side of the bank. So yeah, this post has a lot of information about the field of view in Mabinogi and how they're going to make it work with like bigger monitors and stuff. So this is definitely worth checking out. You can come to the Korean Eternity site using Chrome, and it'll translate all this so you can read it more or less.